If you're looking for help fixing your SunGlo Gas Patio Heater, look no further. Our comprehensive SunGlo Gas Patio Heater troubleshooting guide will explain common issues, provide tips, and show you how to read your model's error codes. Igniter won't fire up. One common way that gas patio heaters ignite is through an igniter. Much like with a barbecue starter, it creates a spark that ignites the gas released by the tank, which causes a controlled flame to shoot up through the tube. This controlled flame is what creates the heat and warms up the space around the patio heater. If the flame isn't catching and you're sure that the gas tank still has juice left to squeeze, then chances are your igniter is the issue. The best way to check for this issue is to use a lighter to create the flame. If you're able to get the patio heater working with an outside source of flame, then the igniter is out and needs to be replaced. Before removing your igniter, check to see if it's producing any sparks. Remove the casing around the igniter and attempt to light the heater. If no sparks occur, then your igniter is in need of replacement. No pilot light. This issue can easily be spotted on some models but can be much more difficult to pinpoint on others. If you can see the pilot light when it's active, then you'll easily be able to tell if it's out or not. If you don't have a line of sight to the pilot light, you might need to run some tests to determine if this is what's causing the problem. The issue that is associated with a faulty pilot light is the same as with the igniter. If the heater doesn't light up, it's time to check the internal components. Once you've taken apart the heater to find the igniter, test it to see what's causing the issue. If the igniter produces sparks but the flame still isn't lighting, then the problem is probably your pilot light. This is caused when the gas line supply to your pilot light is cut off for whatever reason and your pilot light won't stay lit. When this is the problem, it's time to unclog the line. The gas line that supplies the pilot light is small and will need a tool that can fit inside it. Small, thin tweezers, a toothpick, or a sewing needle should do the trick. Start by removing the screen and uncovering the ignition ensemble. Remove the pilot light from the gas line and now you'll be able to see the clog. Remove whatever is clogging the line and place everything back together. If you cannot reach the clog, use compressed air to force the clog out. Sizing problems. This is a relatively simple fix, depending on where the sizing issue is. This is typically an issue that occurs when you're trying to fix something else. Say your regulator needs to be replaced and you go out to buy a new one. You come back to place it in your patio heater and it doesn't fit. If the regulator is the right one for the patio heater, then the gas cylinder might be the wrong size. Either way, you'll need to head back to the store. This isn't an issue that you'll notice out of the blue. This is something that you've likely caused yourself. Chances are that a new patio heater will initially have all of the right parts installed. Otherwise, it wouldn't work in the first place. If you receive a faulty patio heater with improper sizing on certain parts, then the best thing to do would be to return it and ask for a refund, as there could be other issues down the road due to improper manufacturing. If you notice that you've bought the wrong sized part, then you'll need to return it and buy a new one that matches your model. It's as simple as that. It's a headache and can waste your time. But shoving a part that doesn't fit into your patio heater is a recipe for disaster and a great way to create future problems that will need to be fixed. Loose connections. Sometimes the answer is as simple as a loose bolt or connection. This can occur when moving the patio heater or while placing a new propane tank in the bottom. Sometimes bolts can just get rattled and come loose over time. Fixing this problem is as simple as locating the loose connection and tightening it. You likely won't have to search for a professional to come out and help you deal with this issue. However, finding the loose connection can be tougher than you might think. One easy way to combat this obstacle is to make note of what is being affected. Once you know what the problem is, you'll have a better idea of where to look. If the flame isn't working, check the ignition. If the heat isn't as strong, look to the wiring or gas lines. Once you've found the area where a loose connection might be, it becomes much easier to find the faulty connection. You can use a wrench or sometimes even just your hand to adjust the connection and get everything working again. Sometimes, loose connections are the problem, and other times, they lead to the root of the issue. You might find yourself fixing a connection that is tied to a deeper problem plaguing your patio heater. What might start as a loose gas line could end up showing you a crack in the line you otherwise might have missed. Infestation of bugs and critters. It might not be your first thought when it comes to patio heater maintenance. But one of the most drastic issues that can plague your patio heater might be a live one. When you're bringing your patio heater out for the first time in the season, it's important to check the structure for bugs or small animals. Bugs are likely to use it as a nest or place webs all over it while you have it in storage, especially if it is kept outside in a shed. Using the heater with bugs cooking inside will not make for a pleasant experience. When the weather is cold, small animals will look for a warm place to stay. In this case, the warm location may be your patio heater, especially right after use. If you notice signs of rodents or small animals nearby, it's a good idea to check your patio heater. Not only could they be nesting inside, but rodents tend to chew on the wires, which can lead to some significant damage. Before using your patio heater, every time, it pays to check for anything inside. Doing a clean sweep for bugs when you first bring the heater out of storage for the season should be enough. But continually checking for small animals might not be a bad idea. There are limited spots in which they can get lodged, but it's still better to be safe than sorry.